destination.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Or Tiddledating. Today, me and Josh have decided we're going to have pizzas on the barbecue. Yes, on the barbecue, instead of in the oven because it's too hot on the boat. So it's really easy to make. Can't really make a mistake making pizza base. So I'm just going to tip some strong flour in, or bread flour. I've got to think in my mind's eye how much I'll need for 2 pizzas. If I have anything left over, I'll make a little bit of bread from it. So there is probably about, I would say, working out in my head now, 800 grams. Which one of these? Yeah, about 700-800 grams of flour I've got in there, but you can have less. Don't use too much yeast. If you use too much yeast, you can have the opposite effect, it won't rise. So I sprinkle this in. I'm only putting in about half a pack, so I've got a little bit left over. If you're going to use a whole full bag of flour, then you need at least 1 to 1.5 of these. And what I do another time as well is I put it in lukewarm water in a jug with some sugar and let it sit. But today we've had visitors, so we've got to be a bit quicker today. And then I'm putting a tablespoonful of sugar on that, and then I'm going to mix it in. I don't add my salt yet. Salt kills yeast, funny enough. I always add my yeast and my sugar first. The sugar will feed the yeast, but too much salt directly onto the yeast will kill the yeast. So that can have a bad effect as well. You want a fair good amount of salt, otherwise you don't have any flavour to your bread. So that's probably about 2 teaspoons of salt in there. This is how easy it is. And then I'm going to add a little bit of oil, or you can add butter to it.
Looking for the oil.
I've got the oil out. Oh, there it is. So I put about a tablespoon of oil into that. Just makes the whole thing a lot nicer. The oil on long term acts as a preservative for the oil and the sugar as well, so the bread, homemade bread, will last a couple more days. Sometimes if I haven't got oil or I haven't got much oil, I use a bit of lard in there or a bit of butter in there. That's it. Then we add some warm water. I think it's still fairly warm from yesterday when I had a shave. Because the weather's so hot outside, the tank hasn't cooled down, so we want it lukewarm, like when you're testing a baby's bottle, you know. If it's too hot or too cold, then you'll feel it. And we just slowly add this in and mix it around until we get the right consistency. That's a little bit dry. If you make it too wet, just add more flour. If you make it too dry, just add a bit more water. And then what I do, once I've done that, get all that off, I add flour so I can knead it with my hands. Get it all together. So I grab a handful of flour, sprinkle that over the top, and then it's not so much of a messy job when you pull it all together. And I roll it round in here. If it's still a bit wet, add a bit more until it stops sticking. Can't get it off my hands, so add a bit of flour in one hand and rub it on the other, and then it all drops off. That's how I get rid of it off my hands. Get the stuff off the side. At the moment we're just getting it together. Just add in flour until it's dried. Until it stops being sticky. That's what we're trying to do. Then we can get it out on the side. Yeah, that's not too bad. The other side, I wipe down in case there's anything on there you don't want, and then I dry it. And add some flour. And then this is the bit, I like this bit, but a lot of people don't. They find it laborious. That's why they buy bread machines. But another, after, we call them cupboard fillers, these machines. Can't beat doing it yourself. All we're doing is kneading the bread. The bread wants to be elastic. I would say just for pizza dough, 6 minutes. Anything gets on your hand like that, a little bit of flour in it, rub it off and you'll pick it all up the next bit. So when you knead dough, you're trying to get the dough to be elastic and strong and flexible. And that's why we knead it. Nice and kneaded now. It's nice and stretchy, it pulls itself back together. If you're making a loaf of bread, then you could go longer. But as it's just for pizza dough, if you find it's too much hard work, just break it into smaller balls and knead smaller balls. And then I put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pot that I've just used to save washing up. And then I put the dough in there and I roll it in the oil. And then roll the oil around the pan and it don't stick. And then I cover that up and leave it for an hour or whatever until it's double its size. I do normally knock it back, but you don't have to with pizza dough. I normally knock it back, make it into a loaf, let it rise again. But today we will knock it back once, roll it into pizza base, and then let it rise while it's on the tray.
Let's see in an hour.
Size now, guys. So we're just knocking it back, lift it up. Got some. You can just use flour, but I got some semolina on the side, and I'm just kneading it one last time because we're not letting it rise double. So just knead it one more time. And then we'll cut it for 2 pizzas. Semolina's best for this sort of thing. I'm going to make Josh's pizza on this first. So we'll put some semolina on the paddle and then it will come off easier then. Like little grains of marble, so it's much easier to use semolina. It's easy to get from the big supermarkets. And it's cheap, it's very reasonable. So we'll roll out Josh's. And you can put this on a pizza tray in your own oven. You don't have to put it on a barbecue. We just wanted to put it on a barbecue for something different.
And it's too hot.
And it's too hot. If we put that oven on in here, it'll be hot for the rest of the night. Hole in it because I got it cheaper. There we are, and that's with flour, see? And we don't push it backwards and forwards, we roll it out. So that end's being pushed that way, and we don't push back, push that way, and push that way. And that's how you do it with pastry as well. Flip it over, push, push. And then sometimes I get hold of it like that and straighten it out with my hands. And then we put it back on here. We've got to get it to fit. There's a little hole in it there, so I'll take that off. Sort that out. But you can see how elastic it is. It's perfect. And I've been a bit naughty today. I've had a bit of a drink, so I'm a bit all over the place. I don't often drink. So if I can do it if I'm all over the place, well, you guys can do it. And then we're just going to cut this off the access.
Or you could just make it into a crust.
I could, yeah. Josh is on about a crust, so then you can just pleat this up like that all the way around.
Yeah, do it when you spare before you chop it off.
That's your first pizza. Huh?
A bit tipsy, aren't you?
Oh god, yeah. Josh bought me some rum for Father's Day, so I'm all over the place at the moment. Because I don't normally drink, and it's like 40% or something. So that's that. And then you can use passata, or you can use chopped tomatoes, or you can use tomato puree. Put some tomato puree on. Add a little bit of oil to this as well, because it makes the whole thing easier. And then you can put garlic on as well if you want. Depends on what you prefer. Some pizzas don't normally have garlic on them, but Josh likes a bit of garlic, don't you?
Mm.
The garlic, so we've just got some dried garlic granules. I like sprinkling them. Oregano is my favourite on a pizza, and basil. I put this on the base.
Boom, boom.
Oregano gives it a lovely flavour. It's an American herb, really. The Americans love it. Oh, there it is. And basil, I love basil. Right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, I do it at work as well. So we got that on there. I haven't gone right to the edge, because the edge is supposed to grip the filling. So if the cheese melts to the edge, it's supposed to hold the whole filling. I say it's supposed to. Now we're going to grate.
I thought you said you were going to do that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you know.
So I had to quickly run out because I saw
Did you get it?
something going along the surface. No, I didn't get it.
Oh, it's quick, isn't it?
I had to show you. Yeah, it's a snake.
Grass snakes.
Swimming.
They're miscalled grass snakes, and they should be called water snakes. They spend about 80% of their time, 90% of their time in the water, eating frogs and newts and small fish. And they're great swimmers. Too quick for Josh.
Mm.
There's hundreds along here, but I've actually never seen one swim.
Well, I had to show you before I could film it.
Yeah. I used to go and catch them as a kid and look at them and fiddle with them and then put them back again.
And yet you can't even find them now.
No, I used to go to specific places, but back in them days there was a lot of more wildlife than there is now. Right, so there's the cheese. We're going to put some bits on that Josh wants.
Mozzarella. Is that going on top?
Go on top in a minute. I cut some mushrooms up, so it's whatever toppings that you guys like.
Yeah.
Pineapple, if some people like pineapple.
Oh,
Josh
that's
likes pineapple.
controversial.
Got some red pepper here for sweetness and colour. Bacon, or an onion, red onion. And we're going to let this just sit on here for a minute and rise, because we've got to go out and put this. We've started the barbecue, we've got to go and put the pizza stone on now. Pizza stones you always put on when you light the barbecue. We're lighting it with a chimney starter. Then I'll tip the coals in, then I'll put the stone on to warm up with the barbecue. If you put it on a hot barbecue, it will snap and crack. I mean, this is an expensive one, this is by Weber, but you can get cheaper ones in garden centres for 15 quid. And you can cook loads of things on it. You don't have to cook pizza on a pizza stone. You can wrap fish up in tin foil and put fish on there. You can cook fish fingers, because Diane wants fish finger sandwich tonight, not pizza. So we're going to cook her fish fingers on there. Right, and then I put a little bit of cheese over the top. Is that everything you want on there, Josh?
Yeah.
I put a little bit of cheese over the top, and that seals the filling, or the topping. And then we've got our mozzarella over here. We're just tipping these coals in now. We're going to have to do each side because we're doing pizzas tonight. Put them in each side. the lid down and then we'll put the pizza stone in. The pizza stone up warm, that will warm with the... I'm going to shut the lid, open the vents and let it warm up. Goes up to about 280 degrees for a pizza. 300 if you want, it'd be really quick then. I waited so long guys to do this because the coals were wet.
Yeah, because it rained the other day and the coals got wet.
So this has got now got stuck to the bottom of this, so we're going to put it on and cook it on the pizza paddle. Oh, that's one of Mum's fish fingers there. Got fish fingers on here as well for Diane for her sandwich. Look, is at the front of the boat.
Fishing in a cooking video.
Not expecting to catch a fish this big. There you are. Barbless hook, comes out easy. Look at the colours on that roach compared to a canal roach. Beautiful reds. Josh's pizza's ready now. We're just going to get it off this. Did Mum have her fish finger sandwich already? Yeah. Sure you don't want a bit of pizza, Diane? Oh. It's lovely under here because it's all smoky.
Nice.
Like that now. Proper pizza. Thanks for watching our pizza video on a barbecue, guys. Sorry it took a bit longer, but we had to wait for the coals were a bit wet. But anyway,
there's no time for them. They didn't have to wait.
Oh no, they didn't have to wait. But anyway, Josh has got a nice pizza done on the smoke of the barbecue, so it should taste a lot nicer than the oven.
I'm going to enjoy it now.
Yeah, in a lovely area.
You can't say where because this will come out sooner.
Oh,
Yeah.
on a river somewhere in England.